So the other day, I decided to make a meal honoring the winter solstice. Winter is a tricky time for me, and I wanted something that felt really warm and comforting and honored sort of the quietness of the season. So, first up, let's get a marinade going. Red wine, lots of garlic, salt, pepper, cumin, some herbs de Provence, all that good stuff. Because lamb can get a little bit gamey if you don't season it right. Oh, by the way, that's our protein. We're making a roasted rack of lamb. So as it's marinating, I decided to do like a sage garlic crust on the outside and roast the rack whole. So I know lots of people will break it off the rack to do like individual lamb chops, but I like it when it's whole because I feel like it keeps it really juicy on the inside and the fat just caramelizes in this really yummy way. So here we are making the crust. Again, breaking out some pepper, salt, onion, garlic, and then fresh sage. I'm honestly obsessed with the way fresh sage smells. It just is such a nice punch of flavor. Like you can smell all the goodness coming off. And then gonna add some olive oil. Oh wait, some salt, just a little something, and a little two-step while I'm at it. Okay, I don't heavily salt my things, so just the FYI. Okay, then we're gonna bust out this new bottle of olive oil. All right, come on, olive oil, work with me now.
Go Latin dancing.
And now mix it all up, and this is what we're gonna crust our rack of lamb with. I didn't put too much olive oil because I don't want it to be runny. I want it to be almost like a paste so that it can stay on there. All right, so this is a couple hours later, and I do mean like about 8 whole hours later probably. It smelled so good. So now it's time to crust our beauty. It seems silly, but to dry it off after like you worked hard to get all that moisture in there. But hopefully the moisture has been absorbed and all the marinade has been absorbed. The drying off process helps with it getting crusty. So like I want a nice crust on the outside when it's all cooked. Generously putting all of that. We're going to use all of it. I could have probably made more. I feel like that's the downside of cooking as you go and not necessarily following a recipe or measuring out. Like you'll come up with the perfect marinade or mix or blend and like, oh dang, I should have made about 50% more. So let's see if I can make this work. What I forgot to show you is that I also season the other side of the lamb a little bit more, salt, pepper, all that good stuff, a little olive oil just to get that outside nice and crispy. I'm gonna crank this bad boy up to 450. In the mean between time, while the oven's heating up, let's get going on our yucca, fried yucca. So I love yucca down bad, but it feels like so much work to get it going. It has a wax on the outside, so it does take a little bit of elbow grease to peel it. And then you want to take out that stringy strip in the middle. I wish I had put a description for it. Okay, yucca is boiling, and now it's on to the mushrooms. I wanted to do some roasted mushrooms. Okay, I know some people only brush their mushrooms. That's y'all business. Because, like, when I see all that dirt on mushrooms, yeah, I feel like it needs a good rinse. And then dry it off because you don't want too much moisture coming out. So I'm going to chop these up and get some shallots going. Shallots, another secret weapon of mine, because I feel like they just bring in a touch of that onion kind of note, but they're sweet and they like cook down so well and they blend with everything so well. So we got our shallots chopped up, Now we're going to go in with some more sage because we're trying to layer the flavors here. I want that sage note. So I am chiffonading. Is that a verb? Using the chiffonade method to cut up the sage, where you get little strips instead of dicing it fine. I watch a lot of cooking shows, in case y'all haven't noticed. So that's one technique that I love. But then I realized the strips were a little bit too long, so I was trying to cut them in half for the vision I had for this particular meal. So now we got our water boiling. Our lamb is roasting. Look at that crust coming out. Real nice. Okay, so the next part is prepping our Haricot Vert, aka fancy green beans. So I want to give them like a quick boil. I don't like them too soft. And now I'm salting my water for the yucca. Get that boiled up. I'm making fried yucca, but the key is you gotta cook it because raw yucca is actually poisonous, FYI. So boiling it down, and now I'm getting my mushrooms ready to go into the oven. I tried to dry them off really well because I want them to have a little bit of that firmness that I feel like if you don't get all the water out, it's hard to get. So now this is salt in the water for our Haricot Vert. Gonna give them a quick boil. I mean, a few minutes. I didn't even time it. I can't remember. Or maybe I did time it. So this is the part of the meal when like everything is going all at once and you're trying to time it just right so everything's nice and warm and fresh and you don't have to reheat if at all possible. So our Haricot Vert still got that green color to them. I really didn't want to cook them down too long because I was going to go in with a saute of the shallots. Our yucca is boiled. You should be able to stick a fork through that bad boy. And I was able to do so. So while a rack of lamb is resting, I'm going in to season the yucca before I fry it up. Some salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And I was using the rest of the marinade to make a sauce. FYI, with the sauce, you have to boil it for some time. If not, salmonella, okay? I don't do that often, but I always feel so wasteful throwing away like some really good marinade. Okay, so this is some, I think that was parsley and butter. I keep saying I'm going to write down the recipes as I go because sometimes I freestyle. I'm pretty sure that was parsley and butter. I wanted to make some crispy garlic bits to go over. Okay, so now our oil is all ready. And let's fry up some yucca that has been boiled and seasoned. This might have been my favorite part of the meal. Actually, it's hard to say that, but just something about fried yucca makes me think of my family. It's something that my mom actually cooks quite a bit, and I just love it to get it like crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. And that root vegetable feeling. So yeah. So while our yucca's frying up, we got our marinade boiling. I added some bay leaves. And remember, if you are using marinade, you definitely have to boil it. Adding some sugar because red wine can be a touch acidic. And then I wanted to boil it down because I wanted it kind of a bit thicker. So I let that go for a while our yucca was still frying and our butter, parsley, garlic was cooking in the background. Now it's time to cut that lamb. And this, for me, this is perfect. I know some people like there's a little bit more on the rare side, but I like pink in the middle, but also I want that outside to be really crispy, and I don't mind if it comes up to about a medium well. That's perfectly okay with me, and actually my preferred temp on lamb. Our roasted mushrooms have come out the oven, and now adding some of those crispy garlic bits and butter sauce on top of the yucca instead of like a dipping sauce. The marinade also boiled up perfectly. So just drizzling some of that over our lamb to kind of reinforce all that flavor that's been baking in it, that red wine. Just take a look. I was happy. I was very happy with this one. It felt like the winter solstice meal that I wanted and that I needed. And I got to feed my loved ones. So that makes me extra happy. Okay, time to eat. Buen provecho.